Hello. So the last part of the homework is a different exercise. I will have you work like estimate the prediction, calculate the predicted value for two hypothetical persons. So person one is 25 years old, living in Northeast, Hispanic. AFQT score is 40,000 and college degree 16 years, education, and mother and father finished high school, 12 years of education. And there's another person who is 30 years old, living in the West, black. AFQT score is 45,000. Excuse me. Finished high school. Father and mother have these uh, these education levels. And what you need to do is you need to use the coefficients. Here you have coefficients from 5 different regressions, but you don't need the last one because the occupation is a little bit cumbersome. There are too many occupations, so we are going to ignore the last one. But using the first 4 regression results, let's predict these two persons weekly log weekly earnings. So, for example, think about the first result. I'm going to use Excel. It will be convenient to use Excel to work on this. So, I will copy the numbers. So, regression 1. In regression 1, education, and constant. Education's coefficient is 0.1382602. Or you can copy and paste. Copy and paste. Right? So then from the regression 1, you copy the coefficients, and person 1 and person 2, we will use person 1's information to make a prediction. That is, have a look. Person 1 has 16 years of education. So therefore, I will for each year of education, this person will have this much wage. So because this person has 16 years of education, this person receives total 16 times this coefficient in his wage, her or his wage. His wage, we do not have women in this data. And right? And excuse me, what happened? And excuse me, 16 times the returns to education. Again, this number 0.1382602 means the increment in the wage if you obtain 1 year of education, for each year of education. But this guy obtained 16 years, so you have to multiply 16, and the starting point is the constant. So even if you receive 0 education, your log weekly earnings will be 4.8. So this is the predicted value for person 1, right? Do you get it? So remember we have y equals to alpha plus beta times x. This is how we predict using the regression equation. What we estimated is alpha and beta. Alpha is 4.808 and beta is 0.1382602. And we assume that person 1 has the value of x equals to 16. So x is 16. So then plug in the numbers in the correct places, then you will get predicted value. This is the predicted value. Now think about person 2. Person 2 has 12 years of education. different education, so you have different additional wage obtained from education. So now you put same alpha, same beta, but different x, right? And then expected wage is lower because education is lower. So this is the predicted wage for each person using the first regression. By the way, we may use the other regressions, right? For example, now suppose you use second regression, regression number 2. In here, education, age, constant. Education is 0.1381221. Age is 0.0088076. And constant is 4.451752. Now, we are going to do the same thing for person 1. Person 1 has 16 years of education plus, let's see how old he is. He's 25 years old. And for each year you get older, your wage increases this much. So 25 years times this much plus baseline, starting point, constant, right? So then predicted wage is different from this because we use different regressions and we use different information. Age was not used in here, but now we have additional information about age, and including the age makes the prediction different. And for person 2 has 12 years education and 30 years old. So 12 years of education plus 30 years old plus constant, right? So then predicted value is 6.3. Also different, right? Also different. Now, regression number 3. In regression number 3, the first 4 guys are not much different. Education, age, father, mother, and I will copy them first. 112.0.0110.873. By the way, I may have a typo here. If I had a typo, then the results may be wrong. So, like, you need to double check, check if I'm doing right. So these are the coefficients. But and constant, I will include constant 4.526572. So the reason why I did not include race and region is because they are categorical. So it's not a number, so you do not multiply with the outcomes. But have a look. Person 1 is Hispanic Northeast and Hispanic. That means the person 1 here, Hispanic is dropped, which means Hispanic is the reference group, automatically dropped. So that means Hispanic group is 0. So I will put it this way, race and region. Hispanic is dropped, so there is no change due to the race for person 1. But for person 2 is Black West. Then black has this coefficient. I will copy this. So black corresponds to this guy. And now let's think about the region. Northeast is also dropped. It's a reference group. Northeast has no difference. but West has lower than 0. If you live in the West, your expected wage is lower this much. So if you are Hispanic Northeast, that's the reference group, so there is no adjustment. But if you are black, the expected wage is adjusted this much. And if you live in the West, then your expected wage is adjusted this much. Right, then, so now let's predict person 1 and person 2. Excuse me. Person 2. Person 1 has 16 years of education plus 25 years old plus mother and father's education. Mother and father both had 12 years education. Mother 12 years, father 12 years, mother 12 years plus constant, and also you have to adjust this much. But in the end, there is no adjustment, but you have to think about them if they were different from 0. Then the estimate predicted value is again different from both of the previous results. Let's do the same thing for person 2. Person 2 had 12 years of education plus 30 years old, and go back, and father has 16 years education, mother 12 years education, plus father had 16 years, mother had 12 years. Excuse me, typo. Mother had 12 years plus constant, and had to include this much adjustment. Add adjustments. Then prediction is like this, right? So you have to do the same thing for regression 4. I believe you can do that. There is no difference. Basically, we are just doing the same thing, and take those numbers and make a nice table when you submit your homework. Okay? Okay, this is it. You need in your answer, you have to make a table for like similar to table in the textbook, and also you make another table that compares these two persons' predicted wage from different regression models, just for comparison. Okay? Okay, see you. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.